back on while we're chit chatting about some things. Um, okay, yeah. So we're back from our break. I got some house maintenance things to do now that we started accumulating a bunch of coins and wealth. One thing that we will need to do is kind of keep track of the weight of it. And so, I mean, you can fill up a haversack or whatever, however you like with that. But anything that's not in a transdimensional space, all the coins that you carry around with you, it's 50 coins of any type is 1 pound. So you'll have to. What I would suggest doing is just creating an item in your inventory that is just called coins, and then add up all the coin numbers you have and divide that by 50. So you can do that in your little computer calculator or whatever, and then just punch that, and you can round down. I don't care about like to the nearest whole number on coins. For a lot of people, that's not going to come into too much of an effect just yet. But for some of you that are real small weaklings and carrying around 200 pounds of coins, that's a problem.
I only have 47 pounds of coins, so I'm still okay, technically.
I don't need any more coins.
No more coins.
I just deleted all my silver and copper, so.
You just deleted it? You just toss it in the wishing well? Screw you, you're worthless.
It's all going to be worthless soon.
5,000 silver is like 500 gold. I mean, that's something, right? Yeah, and then there's also, and of course, there's all of these coins that I'm just fixing to distribute as well. So if you're...
I don't want them.
Nope.
Can you take me off the list and just give it to everybody else?
It equally distributes among people in the party, but we can specifically not just split if there's anything that we don't want to split.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can't carry any more coins.
You could always ask someone to carry your money for you.
No, I'm just giving it to everyone. It's just not a micromanage I want to do, so.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I need to give away some money. Even if I delete all my silver and my copper.
Well, why don't you convert everything to platinum?
Yeah, because there's a bank here.
Yeah. Banks are Asmodeus is opening on the other side of the next iron door.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that. I might fail my lockpick on purpose. Whoops, sorry guys, can't do it.
Doodle-doo.
Don't worry, I can still carry a lot of weight so far.
Yeah, so if we distribute the gold between the people who do still want it, or who still can carry it, then I can figure out how much I can put in my haversack.
It holds 120 pounds, which is 6,000 coins.
It only...
It's 80, and then there's two side compartments that hold 20.
Oh, right. Okay. So 6,000 coins.
Well, I can still carry a bunch of money, so bring it.
Just fill up a sack full of stuff, put it in there. Yeah, so anything that you're wanting to get rid of and take out of these values. Probably the easiest way, just so we can get through it all, is to anything you need to give up, someone else could take. Probably just type it in the chat there, or how much you're putting in. That way, someone else can money grub it into a sack and put it in their backpack.
Yeah, I have quite a few coins that I don't need to carry.
See, with this taking effect, I'm gonna pay for everything in pennies.
Well, Lumo can put some of his money in the bag of holding proper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, that holds up to 500 pounds, I think, for the bag of holding.
And y'all can treat Lodryn like a pack horse. He's just not going to take any of it because he doesn't see value in it. I mean, pretty much how Lumo feels about it, but
Apparently, it has value and use to people, so he's keeping it because of the.
Well, I know, like on Karth, when I had up to like 6K, and he must have been breaking his back, but we all got like to roll on magical items and stuff. That's the only reason I wanted gold, to get stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when we get back eventually to our garrison, you'll be able to, because you'll actually have a garrison and you can requisition items that just have cost, and so you just I want one of these, and they're like, okay, well, that will cost this, and it'll be however many days, and then it'll be here.
Yeah, but it can't cost more than we can carry.
No, I'm talking about from the actual garrison or whatever. Like, because you'll have a vault, you have a treasury that the garrison has that you can, through quartermasters, can requisition. You want a magic item? You'll just be able to order one. Like, it's the Amazon. The Phalanx has got magic item Amazon, and if they've got it or can get it, they'll be like, okay, it just costs this, and then someone eventually, like the books will balance, and someone will come get it. And
There's still some potions in there if anyone can carry any.
Take them.
And there's just so many things to look through. I feel like I've missed stuff.
did anyone take that quarterstaff?
Nope, it's still there.
Still there? So is the
Did
scimitar.
you want it?
I could make use of it.
Yeah, feel free. We definitely want to take the magic stuff.
Throw that in the
Bag of holding.
the +1 stuff. Yeah, I agree. Leave the mundane stuff.
Yeah, we should. How much room do we have left in the bag of holding?
How much room do we have in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. There's like one heavy item in there.
Okay. We should take as much stuff as possible just so they don't have it.
I'm obviously taking the torches.
I'm reserving space in my haversack for money, basically. And I'm gonna let the rest of them sort out the weapons and things, because I think that's all the stuff I was interested in personally. While they're doing their thing, can I just sit and listen by this iron door?
okay. Are you going to take the coins, the ones in the party sheet, and put them in your haversack? Is that what you're doing, or those are the ones in the chests in the back from the chest in the back of the room?
So you said I can hold 6,000 coins. Was that right?
Mm-hmm. In the haversack. Yep.
Okay. If nobody else wants to carry them, I will take the money, then starting from the most valuable, I'm more willing to leave copper pieces behind.
Is anyone going to take the scimitar?
Nope.
No, can't. Don't use it.
25.89 from just the plat. Gold.
Lodryn will take all of the silver pieces and just put them in his backpack.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's
I
it.
still
One
have.
silver piece? 2 silver
I
pieces.
still have 100+ pounds of carrying weight.
360.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then
Wait. Before we go any further, Lodryn, get some clothes.
Already done.
Wait. Is this a mayonnaise jug?
What?
The alchemy jug.
What?
The alchemy jug.
Grog's mayonnaise jug.
Oh, that thing.
Name one liquid from the table. Makes a gallon of it.
Oh, I can't open the table.
You just scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I guess that's an image. Never mind.
Oh, that's cool. Is he taking the mayonnaise jug?
Likes basic poisons, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil.
I was going with the
vinegar.
beer there.
If nobody's stopping her, she's gonna take the alchemy jug, and then that is
You're the
literally
first one
all
that
the things
noticed
she
it.
can carry.
You're the first one that noticed it.
Yep, go ahead. She got a thing.
I'm so happy.
Okay, so go ahead and figure out how you're gonna mark the platinum and gold coins.
I guess
figure
Lodryn
however
said you'll
sick.
take the silver. Oh yeah. My inventory is all set. So
I wish you could like parent items in your inventory. That would be
what do you
nice.
mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, like, so you have one thing. Oh wait, can you do that? Can you put like one
in the
thing underneath
location.
another thing?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
put
if you
things
type
inside
in-
of something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Ooh,
type
okay.
in the
See
haversack
location?
on the one line,
If you start typing Hewitt's haversack in the location, it will autofill it, and then once you click on the name of another item, it will move it up underneath the haversack. And then
Oh, okay.
anything in the haversack on the right side should have a blank filled in circle, meaning it doesn't actually have weight beyond the haversack. Because anything in the haversack only weighs 5 pounds.
Okay, so
Yes.
what I'll do then is I'll make a secondary coins thing and mark the actual value of the coins in it, so it doesn't actually have a weight, but I can put it underneath the haversack.
I guess I'll take the. I didn't get any money.
Womp womp.
I mean, I'll give you some of my copper to carry if you want to carry some money.
Yeah. No.
No? I didn't want you to feel left out.
Here, take the pennies.
I assume that a good portion of it all is going into a vault at some point.
Yeah, probably when we get back to the garrison, we'll unload some stuff.
As long as you could carry it to get it there. That's the.
Yep.
Maybe Lodryn has smoke. Nice. Would Lodryn want the Sealer's Kit? Or the Herbalism Kit?
He might take the herbalism kit.
All right, it's in there. I picked up the healer's kit. I got basic
Oh.
first aid skills. Maybe.
I still have lots of room in my haversack too, so I'm gonna put my lesser coins in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, that's what I would do. The stuff that wouldn't be like distressing to lose is in my haversack.
And I typed in chat how much of the stuff for you to add. If you want to add those things and then put like start at the bottom and fill your way up or whatever.
Yep, that's what I'm working on doing.
Yep, all good there. Any other housekeeping? There's tons of stuff still to look through. Got engrossed by the loots. Thing from arrows and crossbows to miscellaneous items, magnifying glass, paper and parchment, like all kinds of things like that.
Yeah, I grabbed a flask of oil.
Different tools.
I have a sewing kit now. Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the coins like that for now because I have enough. I have lots of room, wiggle room for my weight. And then I'll sort out the rest after the game, so you're not just watching me try and do math. Sadly.
Little jingle jangle.
Yeah. Can we make sure that we put the supply kits in the bag of holding? Or the tool kits in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I've been putting a lot of things in there.
How are you doing for space? Still good?
Let's see. 150. I'm around 200-ish pounds in it right now.
Okay, so we still have lots of room.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want more stuff in there, just let me know what to take.
There's alchemist supplies, carpenter's tools. Mason's tools. Poisoner's kit. Smith's tools. Thieves' tools and tinker's tools. We should take the rations.
If I take all the rations, that will start pushing me to the marksman limit.
I can get all the
Will it?
rations.
Oh, they're 2 pounds each. That's 170 pounds of things.
Lumo will be entirely, like an entire cart of beef jerky peddler, like be his own cart.
Do you want some dried meat? Got lots of dried meat.
Looking like the lady from the movie The Labyrinth that's got like all the junk collector or whatever towards the end of the movie. A whole house worth of shit on her back.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what's going to hurt them the most, because they already have a source of water down here, so the water skins won't matter.
You can delete the rations. I took them.
Roger.
I just didn't drag them one at a time.
If you shift drag it, drags them off.
Oh, good to know.
Mm-hmm. But I did talk with him, so yeah.
I can only carry 48 more pounds.
It's starting to get heavy.
Pretty sure these rations might have a little bit of an aftertaste to them.
Can I, can we repurpose the traveler's clothes to replace any burnt stuff that we might have
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
without necessarily incurring a weight penalty?
Yeah, I think
Just kind of distribute it.
that's kind of what I think. That's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and deal talk with it. A bit crispy. I know Quip would be like, "Give me all that paper and ink and all that stuff."
I'm thinking that if we can take a little bit, otherwise we could just burn it. Anything that they can't have is good.
Then you make some torches out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Make a
I picked
torch
up-
out of
I
anything.
picked up some spare torches. And I have flasks, so
Use those carpentry tools to cut up like some spears and hand axes and get you a bunch of sticks, and then wrap them in paper.
Can I ask Lumo if any of this looks like stuff that his people might have made or stolen? Would there be any kind of recognizable marks on it?
We don't mark stuff that we steal. That's just either we use it or we eat it. So,
Steal's
be no
a
way to-
harsh word. You know, scavenge.
yeah,
Come across accidentally that on somebody
Happen
else's
upon.
person.
we
Yeah.
happen upon them.
Oh, if you still have room in your bag, maybe we can take some of these books. I'm loath to burn books. Blank paper is fine, but if any of this is knowledge we could use later.
Yeah.
I say out here on the probably like 6 open books that could be basically preppers guides, volume 1 through 6. However you want.
I know that's not in the party sheet specifically,
no, not
but
specifically, but yeah.
I'd rather burn blank paper than stuff that has been written.
Oh, books are heavy. I know, because I've had to pick up a box of books.
Yeah.
I'm looking at somebody I can't see right now. The books are 5 pounds a piece. Those are textbooks. That's like a physics book.
I'm sure it was labeled.
Some said monstrous box of books in a plastic tub.
There's a few more torches in there too, if anybody wanted them.
Our own version of Christmas.
Yeah. There's so many things. While I've been sitting here by the door, have I been able to hear anything?
Go ahead and hit me with a perception roll.
Ooh, even with advantage.
No, it's been still quiet from all directions.
Is the door like tight? There's no like gaps in it or anything?
Only the small. There's only a small little piece right where there's like a small hole for activating the bar on the other side that you could see where the bar is on the other side.
If there's a hole
but
in
no.
the door, can my detect magic get through it? If there's a hole in the door, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could see through to the other. The very small slit that you can kind of see through there as you're kind of looking at it. You can see the glimpse of a little bit of furniture, like a couple of chairs. And then way on the other side is another iron door.
Okay. So there's nothing in there to ping the detect magic.
At least not with your field of view that you would be able to look. You wouldn't have much left in right view. It would be you're
Right,
basically
okay.
can look. I mean, you're looking straight laser line across. Only maybe a few degrees.
Okay. Does the bar on this side of the door come off?
Yes.
Like off completely?
Hmm. So what it is it's on. So on one side it's like a hinge, and then as it lifts up, then it can slide out of the slot and then just comes off.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start working on this lock while they're working on their stuff.
Okay.
So do you want the Dex Thieves
tools? 1 int, 1 dex. It's also, I guess, that's a hard thing to hide too. Now that the like the midst of battle is over and we kind of got our investigation going, we're looking around. It's kind of hard not to notice several eyes peeking at you from Lumo's robes that he has on.
Burn the road monster.
They were mostly closed for a bit, and then like as you started investigating around, you catch something in the corner of your eye. It's like an eye blinks open, and then it just stays open, and then like another eye blinks open, and it stays open, and then all of a sudden the eyes are just all open again.
Can I use my detect evil and good? I don't know if that'll do anything on a cloak, but
Okay, so first off, you easily undo the lock, so that part, okay, that was easy. The second thing is, yeah, go ahead and your detect evil and good. The robe itself emanates an aura of evil. Not the eyes or anything specific on it, but just the robe.
okay. I'll walk over to Lumo. Lumo, I need you to take off that robe.
I'm good with my clothes on, thanks.
No, there's something evil about it. I need you to take it off.
Lumo, she just wants to see your hammer.
I am quite certain that this robe is evil. I can handle it.
It's watching me. I don't
Watching
like it.
everybody.
Can you like turn it inside out or something?
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that.
Watch your eyes pop out the other side, because
Probably.
That's what happens.
what would happen.
Oh no.
They go away for a second, and then hello. Just, I mean, if they give you side eye, just just poke it.
What does it do? Your cloak.
It allows them to see like everything. Downside is bright light can blind them.
If you know it's evil, why do you use it?
It was made by an evil person. Doesn't mean its uses are guaranteed to be evil.
No, but it might mean that they're watching us. Have you not noticed that it seems to be paying more attention, for lack of a better word?
It's just getting its bearings, I'm sure.
I don't like it.
While they're debating over this, I'm going to write a little note to the damn, I forgot his name. It's been so long. The guy in charge, major guy, and be like, "Hey, we have this robe with a bunch of eyes on it. This is a bad thing."
We've already agreed that it's a bad thing.
Yeah. But seriously, man, he'd be like, "Take that fucking thing off right now, or meh, it's okay."
Can we just put it in a bag for now until we can figure out if something's watching us through it?
I am able. I just don't want to.
Definitely a creepy factor.
Oh, can you just stand around the corner for a couple minutes? This is clearly making Izzy very uneasy.
Yeah, I can definitely stand around the corner. That's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
I need the map brought up again, though.
Ah, yes. Map.
All right, Court's oven is beeping at her, so give her a second.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to take the bar off the door and just kind of creak it open and see what I can see in there, and I'm gonna try and do it very quietly.
Okay. This door, not aided by the mechanisms of the other, actually takes a good bit of force, even unlocked, to open. It's a very heavy door on standard hinges, not some kind of dwarven mechanism made gnomish tinker kind of made thing. So it takes a good push to move it, and when it does, it kind of opens up. It doesn't, it's not like your stereotypical creaky door kind of thing that you have to worry about, but its movement isn't quiet, just by its bulk, and there's some scraping and some sound from the hinges.
When I notice it creaking, can I use the alchemist jug to make some oil and
mayonnaise?
Grease it up.
Oh.
Mayonnaise, grease it up. I don't know. Use the mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise for everything.
Get the old jug and lube up the Tin Man. Okay, sure.
Your mayonnaise is the equivalent
You definitely can mitigate some of the effects of such a heavy door moving, but this is one thing that it's just going to make some level of sound. You just can't avoid it.
Okay. Any extra oil, I'll put it in my empty potion bottles.
As the door kind of slowly creaks open, you can see what is a meeting room of sorts. Maps and things laid upon the wall and on a laid out on a table, as well as just several shelves of books and 3 large tables with chairs. Someone's tearing her house down, Bob.
I don't think Bob doesn't have his ears on.
Huh? Shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, you can turn so it's
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I couldn't hear him yelling at me.
So we sat through an entire lecture of Bob's one day. So I mean, nearly.
So
as bad.
you just heard me futzing with the oven is all you heard, really.
It's one creaky
Okay.
door.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, very creaky door indeed.
That's what I thought was going on. I thought Drad was playing sound effects. I was like, she didn't roll that bad.
Okay. So I've just peeked my head kind of into the room.
Yeah, and there's nothing inside as far as people goes. Just the objects, and then across the way is another
the other door.
very heavy iron door on
Only-
the other
Okay.
side.
Is anything pinging on my detect magic now that I can see into the room?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, I'll just say this looks clear. I'll remove the bar and take it into the room with me.
I want to look at the maps.
Okay, I'm gonna go investigate some of the maps. So looking at, you see a few different maps, some of which are more like a world map. Some are obviously like crude maps of the Badlands, because there really isn't any like cartography detailed maps of the Badlands. And then there are some things marked. There's quite so you can see something that looks pretty obviously that hill with the bowl that this temple is down deep inside of. There are a couple of X's along the way, and they look like so if Izzy compares it to the crude map that she'd been kind of keeping track of along the way, they kind of look like a couple of the X's look like stopping points that you guys stopped at. Like they look somewhat analogous to some of the places that you guys had stopped at along the way. And there's also you can see what looks like like a circle and then an arrow coming off of it pointing at a couple of the different garrisons, and just by quickly looking at the edge of the thing, you can see that was maybe an attack plan or something along those lines. You can see, that they were going to hit these 2 garrisons at the same time, try to take down the lodestones. You can
Does
see
it match the battle that we'd already fought?
And you can actually see the word lodestone double underlined directly underneath where those arrows are. You can also see. Let me actually open up the world map. Okay, so there's the Badlands. There's also a couple of other markers on in the Badlands that aren't analogous to places you've already been. You're not really sure what those are. There is another circle with an arrow. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Is that the Death Star?
Yep.
Damn you, Drad.
This is actually what was already there that we had drawn on before. That last one is the last place we visited, and then this circle was the area that the Magister had said it had to be somewhere in this area. That was all stuff that we had done before on. Another thing, so move all the pointers. There's a circle. Oh wait, this is backwards. Okay, and then so this is like the marker that is kind of where we are now. Somewhere right around here. So this is on the one that looks like the Badlands itself. You can see where it's kind of drawn as a hill off kind of on its own. And so you see the three circles, two of which point to garrisons, and one which points to the middle of the Badlands off to the west.
And there's no other indicator of what they might be pointing at?
No, there's no landmark. There's no...
Is it third one not pointing at us? The one at the west?
It is pointing towards us, but it
If
doesn't
if
go
the
that
other
far.
circles represent an army that they sent to the two garrisons, does this third circle represent an army they're sending this way?
That would make sense. I'm going to copy these marks onto my map.
I'm taking these maps.
Yes and yes. Okay, so there's that. That's what's in the bed. There's also, again, there's a couple of markers at what's pretty analogous to places that you had the hideout, the halfling hideouts places that you'd kind of stopped at along the way. And then there's also a couple more of the similar markings, and they're kind of like on there. They're like shaped like little houses. It's like just two sticks and a triangle on the top of it is all it is. And so
that's the same for all the hideouts?
That's so analogous to the hideouts. And then there's also a couple more in different places. Very likely also other hideouts, but not ones that you all are familiar with.
Okay, I'll mark those down too.
Okay. So there's a couple of those, and then as far as the Badlands goes, that's that map. That's all there is. And if you look at the world maps, if you zoom all the way out, if you're looking at the big world map picture, you see where I'm putting squares are big X's on the actual world map.
You just put one square at the moment?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Just make sure.
That was where we came in. Right? That's the garrison where we came out of the Badlands the first time?
That's correct.
Were we at that garrison in the west?
No, but
Oh,
the
we haven't been.
Magister went there
Yes.
to help fix
Yeah.
the lodestone. These are the movements of the people on our side.
Yeah, when you're done, Drad, I'm going to screenshot this so when I pull up my map, quote unquote, I'll have this.
Mm-hmm.
What's the country there to the north?
You don't know that one by name.
There's 3 countries we don't actually have listed, right?
We had talked about this one. This is the one that's southeast of Demir.
Was that the religious one?
That's the religious one. Yeah, that's the religious center of, like, we're all very open to all religions, and everyone has temples there, and but yeah, that's the country. That's the country we talked about there, and I'll have to remember what I actually called it.
I might have it in my notes.
Let's say if you do, that'd be nice for the refresher, because I actually don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Okay, one sec, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I was thinking that was Demir, but I got confused.
Demir's the pirate.
So, okay,
Which is odd that the pirate and the religion operate so close to one another.
are the big squares and the little squares of places we've been, are they all X's?
Yeah, all these. Oh yeah, the squares. All the squares are X's.
There's nothing different about any of the X's.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the X might be relative to the size of the square. I'll say that. So if it's a small square, there's a small X. But Mayora, that's it.
That was all I had on it.
Yep. Let's see.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm trying to think. There's one. There's 2 more.
We thought
X's. Okay, here's another one.
We thought Bijou's father was in that country further to the west, right?
That's right. That very country southwest of Demir, there on the southeastern tip of that island. Yes, that's the one that the Magister last saw that he had docked.
Okay, I'm assuming we're all like pointing and saying some of these things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, what about these 2 to the east?
Braylon and I don't know what that one is. It's inland. I've never been there.
Surrounded by another country. I know I talked about that with Drad once, but this was meta, but it was interesting. Anyway.
There's as far as you know, there's been no story-driven elements that focused on that particular location.
Or Breland?
We've talked about Breland a little bit, but not anything about like locale or that one. Also, there's not been any specific. I'm trying to remember back through all the visions and stuff. I don't think we saw anything on Breland.
I don't lift my eyes from the map and I say very quietly, just Star Fury?
You say that?
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
I don't see it. It's kind of a question.
They would. Oh, I see. I see. Maybe. Um.
Or Lodryn.
Yeah, is Lodryn near us? Lodryn, do these places mean anything to you? Anything at all?
Hmm.
Trying to think about where. So we had talked about. That's a good question. That one might actually be more relevant. The nymph, was she actually was she actually in the forest where you were from, northwestern Rodrin? Okay, that's what I thought. I was thinking was on the other side of the mountains, kind of hidden between the mountains and the garrisons.
I've only ever traveled the Big Sea once for Taft and return journey. I haven't gone further than that. Though I've never seen maps of this nature.
So you don't know these places?
I do not.
Okay.
You flip through. So there's a cut. So those are the two most prominent maps that actually have markings and things on it. There's another one that is the Lodryn map, and it's a really crude map of Lodryn, but it's still there. And then on the Wizard's Tower, instead of like just someone marking with an X, it looks like someone has taken a dagger and jagged in an X over where the Wizard's Tower in Lodryn is. And it was like, not only is it like it was an X, but it looks like it's been in multiple times. So that whole little space where the Lodryn City and Lodryn Tower is just a bunch of like cut up and mashed, like definitely something with passion and anger about that particular area on the Lodryn map.
Izzy has like a small moment of panic because like that was where they sent Ileana, and that was where she sent her mom. But she's kind of like, no, that's just where the Magister is. They're just opponents. That's all that is, right? Right?
It's also where they first brought us together. And there's a lot of places on this map where we have been.
Well, there's also a small. Yes, I missed one. In between the two villages where the undead attacked, or the undead armies attacked.
Bijou.
Little bitty X.
I see. Bijou, is anything in this map? Specifically the 2 east, but anything mean anything to you? Family? Friends? Anything?
Do I roll for that, Drad?
Yeah, go ahead and hit me a history check. So you've been well tutored in a lot of the areas of the world. Obviously, that most people in the whole world are very familiar with the main three, Tunera, Lodryn, and Braylon, as they're probably three of the more prominent countries that just exists here. And then Kragos is known by quite a few as well, because it's quite powerful, even though most of its neighbors are not. Like most of everything on that island, Kragos is really the only thing that stands out as far as of importance historically goes. The island that your father went to, it's kind of strange because that one's very wild, unkempt. There's not a lot of cities or civilizations there. Just a couple of port towns along some of the coasts. Most of the inside is combinations of things unexplored or too dangerous to explore, or it has been somewhat explored, but now holden to all kinds of things like clans of orcs and stuff that most people leave be. And just a bunch of untamed wilds. Of course, there's Taft, which you're from, which is pretty prominent as well, as it's the middle of everything, and it's kind of it's the Switzerland of countries, being neutral to everything. The X, or that's in the entirely center of the other country, that country inside of a country, they're known to be isolationists, very xenophobes, racists. They don't let people in, and they're very prickly on their borders. They don't even let people from Taft, traders, merchants. They're entirely self-sufficient on the inside. So not many people know much about them. Braylon, of course, is that's like it's a very nomadic, open plains kind of country, and so each little mini clan is ruled by a chieftain, and then those chieftains all look to they all have like a council of chieftains that meet, periodically to do, rules that govern all the clans, that kind of thing. As far as that location of Braylon, that is where their main meeting place is, in northeastern Braylon somewhere. But that's
I think Carr would have known that. Just Kragos probably has more in common with Braylon than the other countries that are known at this point.
So I give you guys a little brief history of the world. And I say, well, there's not anything on Taft, and that's where most of my family and friends are, except for my dad. And you guys here.
It's just sombering almost, the map scene.
If these indicate where you have been, and the other places are unknown to us but are marked in the same fashion, perhaps we should travel to those places and find allies.
Agreed. I'm gonna take a look at some of the other stuff in the room. These are bookcases, or what were these?
Yes, bookcases mostly.
Okay, I want to take a quick look along here and see if there's anything of interest, particularly with my detect magic active.
You notice no magic books as far as anything that goes. You can see several slots are missing, and it's very likely that some of the books that have been opened up on the outside came from this repository itself.
More prepper books?
Definitely a whole lot of prepper books. A lot of how to rebuild civilization from nothing. A lot of how
that's interesting.
A lot of how to build not just civilization, but cities, infrastructure, running water.
I still have, I see everyone's fairly full on things. I still have, I look through my list. I still have some carrying space if there's any books, if there's any things of interest you want me to grab.
I think Lumo would be very interested in these ones of rebuilding civilization.
I take those.
Yeah,
I'll just make.
As I say, lots of, so there's books that are like literally a book of just different governments, governing styles. And I mean, like literally everything you would think about as you look at it all, it literally looks like post-apocalypse. This is the knowledge you would need to start over.
How old does this place look? Am I getting the impression that, like, this was somebody's prepper bunker? Like, a long time ago?
Well, the furnishings and books and items that we've come across do not show extreme age or wear in that nature. So most of that stuff looks like it's been gathered or collected in the in the short order of time, not not long term. But there are different other aspects that were much longer term. Things like the way the hallway was bored out and how some of this has been dug out, old, like way old, for that. The well that went down hundreds of feet that had old clan coins at the bottom of it, millennia, like at least, like 1,000 years old for most of the infrastructure that exists in here. The things like the doors, boxes, books, supplies, all this new. It seems new.
All the books seem new as well.
Mm-hmm. New-ish. I mean, books,
well,
no more than, they weren't all printed paperback fresh yesterday, but they, there's nothing in here indicating more than 50 years older at the most for
okay. All right. Are there any drawers or anything that I can look in? Or is it all just kind of out in plain view?
Yeah, this being a prominent meeting room, just all their materials is just kind of laid out here.
Okay. I'll go sit by the other door and listen for a while, see if I can hear anything. Inspect the door, things like that.
The door, very similar to the one before. The lock being of finer quality than the previous door's lock, but same kind of construction for everything else. Not crazy, super mechanical door like the other one, but still, they put one of the best, most advanced mundane locks that is just a regular lock that they could find on this particular door.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna listen here for a little while and see if I can hear any movement on the other side of the door.
Okay. Go ahead and hit me some perception. Okay. So you strain for a little bit of time, ear against the door, trying to garner as much, ability to hear on the other side as you can. And you sit there and you strain and you listen, and you like, there's like a weird tingling sensation on your ear as you've got it up against the door. It's almost like not like hair stand on the back of your neck kind of sensation, but it's almost like rumbling, distant, bassy kind of something is kind of vibrating against the door a little bit. So you just feel this like minor vibrations from the door as you've got your ear up against it. It's an you almost didn't notice it. There's a little bit of ebb and flow to it.
Something like a waterfall?
No, definitely wouldn't be, even at that, not that distinctive.
It doesn't sound like a creature necessarily. Like it's a very steady.
It'd almost be like abnormally, inhumanly low hum that would be rhythmic.
Can I see through the hole in this door at all?
This door does not have a slit for a bar on the other side.
Okay.
So, like, the last one is a super thin piece of metal could be put into the other one, but it'd have to be the perfectly right shape and size. So we're talking like 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch, kind of super thin. This one doesn't have any. It doesn't have anything indicating the other side.
Okay.
It's almost the way it sets in as well. The way it comes flush up against stone casing around the outside. So like how like a regular wooden door in a house has like the little thin strip of wood that goes all the way around that the door comes up flush up against, so you can't really see around the crack of it. It's all on the other side of this side's casing. So the molding all the way around, if you will, it's all stone wall. It all comes flush up against it, and even where you look off to the side along the edge of the door, it makes like a right angle of stone, and you can't see anything coming from the other side.
Right. Okay.
Like same thing even on the hinges side. So the hinges are hidden behind the stone casing on the other side of this door.
Does it sound like, if I were to imagine like a dragon breathing, is that kind of like rumbly, deep sound?
Now Drad's thinking, do I want to put a dragon here?
Something more mechanical.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, so take what you're thinking, which is probably not far off, and then instead of natural, put it more like a tuning fork. Tuning fork that kind of warbles a little when on its sound, but deep, like that kind of like low, lumbering, deep, the dragon breathing sound that you're probably instinctively thinking of. A lot less natural.
Right. Would it put me in mind of something like the portal that they were trying to open to summon all the demons through? Did that make a sound similar?
Same kind of eerie effect, but it was much higher on the register than this is way deep. Like way
Right.
Deep, like high.
Right. Okay.
I can't be that deep.
Yeah. Fair. So I'm just gonna look up at the other guys and say kind of quietly, I think there are very bad things on the other side of this door, but I can't tell what it is. Ugh.
That's actually the sleeping dragon sound from Syrinscape.
Yeah, that's about kind of what I was thinking. I'll just say I don't think it's halflings.
There's just one halfling with sleep apnea on the other side.
God damn, just let me see for the love of God.
I can try and open it, but I don't know what's on the other side. I just have a very bad feeling about it.
Well, I trust your instincts. I will follow your lead.
I throw Steen in there. Just kidding.
You try to and realize the door is not unlocked yet, and Steen just barrels headfirst into the door.
Dong.
Well, whatever's definitely awake now.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get Lumo if we're gonna open this door?
I don't like that cloak he has. It's watching me. It's watching us.
It's also watching the dust fall from the sky through the ceiling.
I don't trust that cloak.
I don't know if my detect good and evil's still going or not.
Say, Lumo, we're going to go through a door. Might as well follow behind us.
Oh, okay.
Lumo's coming.
It's
I kind of hunker behind this chair.
I don't say anything. I'm just watching the cloak watching me.
Watching you.
Don't look into its eyes.
We are watching you.
Watching you.
I don't like it.
The movie Congo or whatever. That's a good movie.
Wait, can
Watching you.
Can Lumo see through doors with that cloak? I forgot what all it does.
I don't think so. Plus, I'm not attuned to it.
What are you guys thinking?
Not Car. I am just curious.
Me, Degra, I am curious as well, but I don't think Izzy wants to open the door.
We're all very tired.
Mm-hmm.
So
We could presumably use that bar to lock ourselves in here from this side, I think. That would not stop the finger waggers who can just bamf in here whenever they feel like it, but it would stop the regular folks.
and rest in here?
Mm-hmm.
Finger waggers have very good intelligence, it seems.
Despite being corrupt evil bastards, they're not stupid.
And Darren and Parth are still out there as well. I am not entirely comfortable leaving them out there alone.
At this point, we're probably like, because we'd already got through 2 hours, 2 watches, so we're at like, and then combat, and then ooh, loot shinies, and then there's all of that. There's still stuff in the crack, which we don't know how Lumo got out, and the other thing was in there. We don't know what happened with that. And all that happened. We're probably looking at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning right now.
Let's chance fate, secure both of these doors, and try to get some rest. We can really do no further, be of no further use in our current state.
May I go back and get Darren and Parth? I don't think they're safe out there by themselves.
I have no objections.
I
You
do
always
not
have them.
know what a Darren or a Parth is, but if you need to speak to them,
Okay. I'll try and be quick.
be more careful than quick.
Yep, I am definitely stealthing my way back to their room.
Okay, go ahead. Stealth and active perception both.
Ooh, that's not good. Bad rolls.
Bad dice. Bad dice. Your exhaustion is getting the better of you,
Seems that way.
and with that, you know, things that normally become second nature, you're having a hard time keeping up with those things even actively, as far as stealth is concerned. You're aware of how tired you are. It's just a matter of your principles and resolve to carry forward.
I told them I wasn't going to leave without them, so I am going to continue.
I know I'm not there, but technically we haven't left without them.
No, I know.
Alright, feel free to move on. Go moving on down. Make it all the way to the barracks. You don't notice anything along the way.
I'm going to stop here for a moment and just listen before I continue forward. And if I don't hear anything,
Yeah, you sit for a moment, trying to train in and listen, making sure you're not, you know, surprised with things coming out of the woodwork or anything that you wouldn't expect. You hear nothing.
okay, I'll sneak up towards the torches.
Yeah, come in under the light. You can see that most of the bedrolls and stuff are still just all kind of tossed as they were before. Nothing seems awry.
Do I see them here at all?
Not here on the left. Nope.
Okay, I'm going to just slip across to the other side of the hall and flap myself against that wall then.
Yeah. Kind of go ahead and make your way on and to the rest of the barracks. You hear, just as you kind of come up around the edge of the dresser, you hear slow, slumbering breaths from the other side. And as you kind of peek around, you see that Darren and Parth are in the fancy beds, just snoozing.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I am going to still quietly. I'll come up to them and just gently kind of like touch a foot just to wake them up and say their name.
As soon as you touch their foot, you can see that like they're immediately like snapped awake, and then you can see them also cringe immediately as though
It's okay. It's okay. It's just me.
They look around kind of shocked, confused.
We went through the big tinker door, and we thought it might be safer if you guys came up with us. We were gonna sleep up there, where we can bar the door.
So they're like very little brain-addled. Like, oh,
I'm going to tell them there's all kinds of rations and water and supplies up there if you need some food.
oh, okay. Is it not? Is it not safe here?
I'm just concerned that somebody may come by and start asking questions about, and I kind of just gesture to the rest of the room.
Oh,
While we're far enough away, we can't help.
Oh,
Yes.
oh. Perhaps it would be best if we weren't found.
Yes. That's my thoughts exactly. I'll start gathering up some like pillows and blankets and stuff to
Okay.
take up with me.
Okay. Yep. And then y'all make it all the way there. Y'all make it all the way back.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so everyone's gonna pack into this room.
I'm going up to Lodryn. We're about to retire, and I tell him this is his staff. Let me put it in the party sheet. Yeah, the +1 of plant growth. So I kept this. I put it to good use once. It is yours.
And other than that, is there anything else that anybody else last call before I clear out the party sheet? Aside from grabbing that core staff back.
I want to let Darren and Parth equip themselves because they're just wearing rags, right?
Yeah, like tattered, like they were cultist robes that have been worn for a long time, are just tattered shreds now. Yeah, so they grab clothes, they grab rations, they grab water, they get that slightly equip themselves with a couple of they had some mundane clubs that they had before, but now they actually pick up some martial weapons to kind of arm themselves.
And yeah, then anything that can burn, I would like to burn if possible. Again, just so that the fellows here can't have it.
Mm-hmm. And papers, and you can be like Quip when you walk out, set the place on fire and walk out. Just finger cannon the whole world down.
Yeah.
One wooden structure at a time. Okay, and then we're going to
Bar the door.
Bar the door on both sides. Because yeah, technically you can acquire 2 bars. Bar one from the inside over here, as well as the inside of both of these 2 doors for the rooms that you're in.
Yeah.
The other one still has the lock on it, untouched. And you're gonna try for sleep.
Yeah, I think so. Unless anybody is uncomfortable with this plan.
Lodryn's very uncomfortable sleeping here because it's not outside.
Fair. Outside is all sand. There's nothing but sand.
That would chafe.
I need 1 elected party representative to roll me a D100.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay, the thing with Tiamat is, right?
Bill Wheaton.
How do you roll a D100?
Right click the D10 and say percentile, but Lumo gotcha.
So I still want to try.
Let's see, how much Will Wheaton are you got in you there?
That much?
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Everyone's gonna... I got that much. That's right.
We make it through a long rest.
Oh, yes.
Praises.
Thank the gods.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And that's where we will end for today. And we'll pick up with inquiring minds wanting to know what's in the box behind the door.
Yeah.
Can I attune this or say this item's attuned now?
Confirm.
So
Now you can see. You are one with the robe.
Blinded by the light.
That thing is so creepy.
Bob could literally blind himself if he has like a radiant spell of some sort that's really bright.
120-foot dark vision. Let you see in all directions, even if you're intently focusing or searching on a particular thing. You also get advantage on perception for the seeing of things. You can see invisible creatures and objects, as well as into the ethereal plane out to 120 feet.
Mm-hmm. He's got the vision.
The
But
eyes
they
on the
can see
robes
us too.
can't be closed or averted.
Yep, the only vision he doesn't have is hindsight.
You can close or avert your own eyes, although you are never considered to be doing so while wearing the robe. If any form of light spell is cast on the robe, or then inflicts the blinded effect for 1 minute. And possibly, you're just one walking scrying spell. Could be also true. I don't know.
I'm hoping that my amulet also counteract. That's what I'm assuming. My amulet.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
because you've got the
complete watch.
not the what is it actually called? Something of prevention of
Amulet of
scrying.
proof against detection and location. I cannot be the target of divination magic.
Oh, well, if they're targeting the cloak, then, I mean...
Might be a loophole.
Yeah. They can't find you. But they might be able to find your hammer.
Yeah, because it looks like they've had a hard time finding us so far.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
They even know where we're going next.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't go to those places. Be like, ha! You are wrong.
I think we have to.
I mean, they could be the people. I mean, definitely the people taking the people. Can't get your enemies, you get what they have value in. Lumo's people.
It's like,
Izzy's mom.
be careful of defined causation, right? So, they don't necessarily know where you're going, but if you go somewhere that they have of interest, or whatever, then they might expect you to go to a place of interest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they know where you're going.
Yeah, but Bijou's dad is at one of those places. We know that much.
Oh yeah, no, there's that. I'm talking about just in general. Like they might not be able to just scry in on you at any point in time. It just your path and things that they are focusing on happen to line up at the same time. Like your goals and their goals are the same, or counter, I guess. Could be an explanation, to that.
Correct me if I'm remembering incorrectly, but I was given a page that is connected to the Phalanx members who had taken Izzy's mom, right?
That is correct. It's a weird chain of one-way communication for you, but two-way for other people. But yeah, so you go to yours goes to the book that the commander had, the one who was the commander of the Phalanx Battalion, who is then connected to the scouts. He can communicate with any of the individual pages, but only the page can only communicate with the original book. Yes, and he has the book. And then you and the scouts and several other people have individual pages. So they're...
Right, so it goes to the commander, technically, and then he can forward... Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Before Izzy goes to sleep, can she check her paper? See if there's anything there?
The last report was that they had made it to Lodryn City, but that was a couple of days ago when y'all slept at one of the hidey holes on the trip across the Badlands. But there's been no new entries since the arriving safely.
Okay. Before I go to sleep, I'm going to draw kind of a rough copy of the map markings that we saw on the table here.
Okay.
We can cover this next time. I would have also shown Lumo the map of all the potential hiding spots and see if that jogs any memory.
See, I think Lumo's still a little weird about cartography. Thing he was interested in.
It is not a skill I possess. The whole 3D to 2D mapping. Nope. Can't do it. Too much maths.
I just walk and I know the landmarks and I know where to go and I just get there. Like on a map. Like that doesn't make sense.
You're talking about my road trip now.
Yeah, so we survived. We have our friend back. Yay.
I'm so happy.
A little different. He's darker in color. Some things about him have changed. So we'll have to figure
Hope
those
nobody's sleeping too close to me.
We don't inhale any spores.
I'm sure Lily's wrapped up in your beard right now.
Probably.
Instead of using it as a hammock.
Oh, she already found the fleas, so I don't think so.
Did she apologize for firebombing you earlier?
Yeah, not much conversation's been gone down that road yet, right? About what all's happened, how he actually got here, or what he's done. That's all for part of his story to tell. And also, what the hell happened to the ghoul that was in there?
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about the ghoul since we were, fighting for our lives at the moment, but yeah, that's a good question. But yeah, we kind of asked him, but he said it was kind of too long of a story for a place like this. So
It's like I imagine when we begin our next session, that's probably what we will do is throughout the long rest process. There might have been some time to question and relay some of that story and ask and the like. So that's probably where we'll start next time, is with the story or some story.
Sounds good.
and then we'll decide what do we do after our rest. And yeah, that was awesome. Thank you much.
Thank you for not killing us.
I was fine.
Yeah, you were on another plane.
Yeah, very annoying. That
It took 8 rounds before we managed to damage the thing that banished me.
I did notice that.
It's a little hard to get there. But yeah.
Yeah, that guy had a couple more tricks up his sleeve, and the one that banished him had a couple more tricks up his sleeve, but he died before he used them. Yeah, that feeble mind.
Good.
Oh my god, that is so awesome that we saved against feeble mind. That's a level 8 spell. That is fucking terrible. That's what it is. Just fucking terrible.
We would have been looking after a bit of an invalid for a long time.
Yeah, until you found someone with a greater restoration spell, or 30 days once you got another save. Like it's
Wow.
We've taken care of Steen. Kidding, Wolfen.
Yeah,
At that point, you just want to Kevorkian them and bring them back. Jeez.
This is for your own good. All right, let's revive him.
And mostly ours, because you're really annoying.
Oh, my chicken's going again.
Chicken. Yeah. So, man, that feeble mind. It's pretty gnarly.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If that had hit me, would I have been able to get rid of it? With my, what's it called? Like empty mind or whatever? Actually, no, it's not a fear or a charm. Never mind. Keep on forgetting that's the specifics.
Empty mind, what's the premise? I'm already feeble-minded. You can't feeble-minded me any further.
Yeah, my mind's already empty. I can't empty it anymore.
Yeah, never mind.
I don't, yeah.
No. I retract.
Yeah, that one's brutal. That one's rough. Just across the board, because they literally can't take actions, or communicate.
Oh, yeah, so even if I could, because I have to take an action to actually remove it.
So I did something right tonight.
Super gross. I mean, that spell's gross.
That spell in AD&D, I think, was only level 4. That's like,
The level
yeah,
8
it's
enchantment spell.
Yeah.
They take 46 psychic damage, because, why not? And then they make intelligence saving throws. So the 46 psychic is guaranteed. No halvesies, no nothing on that. On the failed save, their int and charisma scores become 1. Creature can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however... Oh, it didn't say no actions. Okay, so that's a little different. But yeah, can't activate spells. Or can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language. They can identify friends, follow them, and even protect them. At the end of 30 days, the creature can repeat its saving throw against the spell. Can be ended by greater restoration spell, heal, or wish. That's it.
No,
So you don't really
so
care
work
if
on
the
that.
fighter of the group gets that, because he just turns into like an ill in pain or something.
Yeah. Can't think or cast spells, or intelligence is 1.
Hey, yeah, if it was against Wolfen, I wouldn't have to listen to his goddamn terrible puns.
Hey, mate. I wasn't the one with the good pun today.
No, it was terrible.
No,
Oh,
the
man.
lady.
Hey,
the lady
I bring the
across from me.
puns. I bring the puns. He just explains them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty critical right there. That's exciting. And then so the Abjurer has a magic item, which is actually pretty intense. lets him cast abjuration spells. He also can use charges on it to get extra reactions. So he can do things with extra reactions. So things like shield and blade ward and absorb elements and things like that already. As an abjuration dude, and every spell that he casts, he gets temporary hit points, and he has a pool of 30 hit points, and those actually are his abjuration ward is additive. He casts Globe of Invulnerability, which was that last big, massive globe on him, which makes any spell of 5th level or lower not affect anybody if it originates outside the globe, doesn't affect anybody inside the globe. If it's 5th level or higher.
Oh, is that what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is also an abjuration spell. He also has, so that item he has allows him to burn a charge to make an abjuration spell, and the item only affects abjuration spell. But if it has a cast time longer than 1 action, it makes its cast time 1 action, which is actually pretty powerful because there's some other pretty cool spells like the Mordenkainen's Mansion, for instance. It's like a 10-minute cast, which he could make it turn into an action. You could trickery that a little bit, but also things like Symbol, which is stupidly powerful, which has a 1-minute cast time as an abjuration spell. He did not cast that one, but he was going to he was actually going to on that turn if he wasn't threatened to the point where he was going to go ahead and leave. Symbol does all kinds of stupid stuff. It has different modes depending on what symbol they draw on the ground.
Oh, there's symbol of fear, symbol of death, symbol of... I don't remember all of them now. Symbol of flame?
Death, discord, fear, hopelessness, insanity, pain, sleep, and stun. It does cost 1,000 gold pieces to cast it.
That's expensive.
It's pretty expensive. Can cover a surface or like a book. So like if you open up a book and he's got the symbol cast on the book, the opening of the book could cast the spell and make it go off in an area. Nearly invisible, requiring a very high investigation check to find it. To find the glyph.
Detect magic would see it too, right?
I believe so. You can also just put it on a surface. If someone walks over it, it just triggers, that kind of thing. Or put it on or just cast it underneath someone. Since he can cast it so fast, you can put it on the ground underneath someone. But once it triggers, it makes a 60-foot sphere. And then each creature in the sphere, when it activates or enters it for the first time, must make one of the saving throws depending on which mode it's on. Death is 10d10 necrotic damage. Discord is the target bickers and argues with other creatures for 1 minute. They're incapable of meaningful communication and have disadvantage on all attacks and ability checks. Fear is just that. It's just like the regular fear. They can't get any closer. They have to use drop whatever they're holding, which is actually extra. And they have to flee 30 feet away from, move at least 30 feet away from the glyph on each of its turns if able. Hopelessness.
They do nothing, don't they?
Yeah, they're overwhelmed with despair for 1 minute. During this time, it can't attack or target any creature with harmful abilities, spells, or other magical effects. Insanity. They're driven insane for 1 minute, and where they can't take actions, can't understand what other creatures say, can't read, and speaks only in gibberish, and the DM controls their movement, which is erratic.
Hey, question about that.
Mm-hmm.
If if I like a level 15 monk got turned insane, would everyone still understand his gibberishness? Because whenever he speaks in tongues and means that everyone can understand him.
For the level 15 monk ability?
Yeah, tongue of sun and moon. Tongue of sun and moon.
So that everybody can understand him no matter.
Yeah, he can understand all, and everyone can understand him.
Interesting. It might still be. They could probably still even if he speaks in tongues, and it might. They just might not discern any meaning behind it because there just might not be meaning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he starts talking some weird gibberish, and it'd be like random word generator almost of things that people would hear. That'd be weird. Yeah.
Randomly compliment one tune while insulting another.
Yeah, symbol of pain. To become incapacitated with excruciating pain for 1 minute. That's just what it says. Put people to sleep. But that sleep is for 10 minutes, but they can be woke up. And then the other one is stunning. The targets become stunned for 1 minute. So, like all that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, we made it. Made it through. He teleported away. I rolled the dice to see if he would do it or not. And he was after he got hit with the acid and did some stuff and people were still up. He wasn't like super worried about dying, but he didn't want to risk it. He's risk averse. That's why he's like, is an abjurer is entirely about defense and staying alive.
I would have stunned his face off.
Yeah.
I would have gave him fleas.
I was like, if it hit him.
Yep. I mean, if I had a tune by the to the robes, totally would have owned him.
Yeah, the mirror between mirror image and shield, that's already pretty decent. As he's carrying a shield as Warcaster, so he has he actually has some AC with mage armor on.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were gonna become the new mage. Sorry.
I missed what you had said about making a. What about a new mage?
I thought you were gonna make him the new style of mage. The battle mage, where the hell it was
Oh,
spelled.
the battle mage. Yeah. The sword.
When you mentioned the shield, I was like, battle mage, me?
No, he's just
the abjurer.
He's just don't hit me. That's all he is. Don't hit me. And then the two warlocks. It's fun. I like it when we can mix some combat with some other stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
We had Christmas. Ransacked the entire supply room.
Well, we don't want them to have it.
Mm-mm. So as far as we know, there are 2 rooms left. Well, 3. I guess 3 rooms left. There's the one that's blocked by the magical barrier that we can't get into.
The bone door, the Asmodeus door, and the door that we just locked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid what's behind the other doors. But at least we got arrested. Yeah.
And then we don't technically know what's going on in what I called the squeeze room. Which is where the ghoul was.
Right. Well, if we want to get through the other 2 doors in the hallway, we have to go back in there anyway, right? Because that was where the key was.
Mm-hmm. Assuming that the key opens the Asmodeus door. That part we don't know. We know for sure it opens the bone door. The cultists, I believe, were a little surprised about, because they said it was their chapel, and then they go in and out all the time, and it's never had any kind of magical barrier or protection before now. And then just one day, not long ago, that Asmodeus symbol showed up, and then nobody's been allowed to go in. No one can get in ever since.
Halflings, man. Motherfucking halflings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking bitches don't want to help restore the world, so they're gonna try and let someone else do it in their own image. Lazy sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they, seems that some of your clansmen that were working with these people had that same kind of philosophy as the one acolyte that took his own life, or rather didn't take his own life, but asked for death.
The one I killed.
Mm-hmm. Except for whether one might be more vengeance motivated than the other. One was more maybe philosophical reasoning to come to that conclusion. Your people may be hate and vengeance.
Oh, I get it. Paylor's a dick.